Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Moving into the Future. Today, I am joined by Barrie with Dallien Real Estate. Dallien specializes in luxury residential real estate in New York City, and Anna specializes in residential sales and investment opportunities. So today, we're going to have a discussion on what she saw in the 2023 market and what her outlook is on the 2024 real estate market in New York City. So Anna, how are you today?
Very good, Jack. Thank you so much for having me here. This is a wonderful experience for me. I'm very glad that you're taking time to interview me today. Thank you.
No, it's my pleasure. I've known you for a while now, and I've always been impressed with your work ethic, the way you treat others. You have such a special way about you, and also, your knowledge of the real estate industry. You've taught me a lot, so it was something I wanted to do and sit down. So, now that we're in December 2023, we've had a full year, and it's been a very interesting year in not just New York City residential real estate, but also, the entire country. Real estate is in quite a unique space. What has been your major learning opportunity this year? And, how have you been navigating your clients, through such an interesting market?
Well, I think it's been very interesting because things have changed so much. I've been always involved in real estate since I was a little girl, and I have been seeing this year how things are kind of slow, like commercial spaces are changing into residential spaces. People have a way to look at the market in two ways: whether you invest and you take the opportunity because the prices are low, or you just wait until the rates go down and you wait for next year for things to get better. There's a lot of different things because actually prices are not even that low.
Right.
But I see people from other countries very interested in investing in New York City and like talking to me about like what are the different opportunities for investments. So that's what I have been doing this year, like finding the right opportunity for investment where like you get a better cap or a higher cap where international people from Brazil or Venezuela or Colombia, Mexico. I had an investor from the Middle East that I was working with last month, and that's what I have been doing mostly, like working with international investors that are really interested in New York. New York is really the best city in the world. And like whatever you buy here, because the piece of land is so small, then it's always going to be a good investment. Like whether you get it on a good price or a little bit even higher, whatever you get here is it's going to be worth. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, and I mean, as history tells it, real estate investments in New York Cities are some of the best. You mentioned it yourself, because we are on an island and secluded to where it is. Really, the only place we can go is up, and because of that, real estate opportunities have always been very lucrative here. But it's also defined to different pockets. I mean, Brooklyn's already seen its boom, over the last 20 years or so. And even into like Long Island City. Obviously, Manhattan's still very expensive, but there's other neighborhoods, that you've seen, I think, and have studied, that are better investment opportunities. What are some of those that you've seen and been able to study?
Well, I think that a very good place to invest right now would be areas like Harlem or Brooklyn, like you just mentioned, just because you get the higher return of investment. You can invest in like different multifamily units that people are selling for a good price, and then rent it right away, and then obviously get a higher return. It depends on what you're looking for. Like I have people looking for investing in commercial properties because everybody knows how commercial market is right now, and it's a good opportunity to buy or to sell. But at the same time, there's not a lot of people selling because of the same reason. I feel like Brooklyn is booming right now. Everybody wants to invest in Brooklyn because it's just growing like everywhere else, and yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, no, that certainly makes sense too. And again, you speak of like commercial properties. Commercial, I focus heavily, in commercial real estate and obviously relocation, furniture installation, those sort of things. And it is such a unique position right now because with a lot of like Class A and B buildings, or excuse me, Class B and C buildings, and you mentioned it before, them being converted to residential buildings, instead of commercial. It's on top of what we were saying in terms of the plot of land always being valuable. It's how do you make that plot of land as valuable as possible? And a lot of people are finding that from a commercial standpoint, it's not so much valuable, maybe specifically in Manhattan now. It could be different in Harlem and Brooklyn, but in Manhattan, where these Class B and C buildings are, they're not valuable from a commercial standpoint, but can be demoed and then rebuilt into residential opportunities, or reconfigured to
Which
make
I
it
think
work
it's
for
gonna
them.
be interesting because in the first quarter of 2024, so in about 4 to 6 months, we're gonna have around 5,000 more residential units in the design district, like in the financial district, I'm sorry. And that's going to be interesting because that can lower the rental rates at least. And who knows? Like it might be better. There's going to be a lot of more competition. There's going to be a lot of more, stocks and possibilities. So I think it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, I do too. And like, I don't think New York City real estate is ever going to go back to a place where it was in like the 70s and 80s, where there was a ton of investment opportunities, where you're going to make, massive return. I think over time you'll get a return. What is the return when you're speaking with clients that you aim to make for them? Like when you say in an ideal situation, we're in realistic situation, we're going to make this amount.
Well, I feel like, nobody wants to buy for lower than 6.5.
Yeah.
Of course, higher than that will make it for anybody that's willing to invest or to locate their money. Like, I actually think, and I don't know if it's because I work in real estate, but I do believe that the best place where your money is safe is investing in whether like in real estate, in a residential property. Why not? That's where the money is and you can make more money out of it. So, I mean, if you're looking to grow your wealth, you don't have to think a lot about it. Like, I think it's my particular opinion. It's better to have your money safe in a physical property that you can do whatever you want in the future with it than playing in the crazy stock market
Right.
and doing like crazy little things here and there. But that's just me. I don't know. Like maybe people are gonna be like, "What is she
You're
talking
a little
about?"
biased. You're a little biased. No,
But
but it is true. I mean, real estate, again, historically speaking, does go up, and depending on where you get it and what the opportunities are,
yeah.
pretty substantially. I mean, it's been a safe play for a number of years, specifically in New York City. And you were speaking before about international investors and those type of people. You are from Venezuela, correct? Yep.
Yes.
So, you have a lot of connections in South America and those different regions of the world. When they come to you, those international investors, what are they saying, and how are you helping them navigate?
So for my investors, my clients overseas, I I do a deep analysis. Like they tell me what they're willing to invest, and I go I meet with my team. I have a team. We're a group of 3 to 4 people. Somebody new is coming this month, and we just do the financial analysis for them. We see on the operating expenses, like, we see what we run comps for that specific property, and then we tell the client, this is how much you can rent it for, this is how much you can buy it for, this is what work needs to be done in your unit, this is how much you're gonna spend during like all the work or remodelation, and then like it all depends on what the investor is willing to do. If he wants to get into like a deep project and
Yeah.
a long-term process on the whole process, they will do it. But if not, like I have seen other international investors just doing a quick transaction, just buying a property, renting it out, and that's it. Like, which
Quick flip.
obviously that's the ideal
Right,
client,
of course,
but
yeah.
they're coming from all over the world. Like I said, I've seen a lot of people from the Middle East, from South America here and there, and Mexicans, Brazilians, and I have the opportunity to assist a lot of like those international clients in my firm, because I think I'm the only one that speaks Spanish here. So
That helps. That helps.
so that helps. Yeah.
And how has the transition to Dallien been? So you came here this year, and you've experienced both sides of the coin, because prior to Dallien, you were at a large firm, and now Dallien is a little bit smaller, but also a little bit more focused, like I said, in luxury, investment and sales and those type of opportunities. So how has that transition been for you?
I started in Douglas Elliman, and it's a bigger company, but the office was a little. I didn't like the energy in the office, so I was looking to change, and then I started like interviewing. Even though they thought they were interviewing me, I was interviewing different firms. I went to Compass, I went to like Corcoran, I came here, and like 5 other different places. And what I like about Dallien is I got to meet with the owners, the John brothers, and they're just wonderful. They are very professional. They have the knowledge. They have the time to meet with every team. We do a big group meeting, every week. And even though they're like very busy, they really like take their time to provide some guidance and leads and like different strategies, brainstorming on how to create more work and create more business. And that's, I think, has a lot of value. And that is something that I didn't really find in other companies, because like whatever you do in a company like this, it's valuable. But at Douglas Elliman or Corcoran, you have to be like in another super level, and being an agent for a few years, it might take a little longer to
Get to that
to get
size.
there.
Yeah. No, I noticed that too. I've been attached to Element and Corcoran and Compass and those larger firms for a while now, and unless you have a large team that's like working under you there, it's hard to really make large headway. And I can see why a company like Dallien too, works really well for you, because the people that I do know there are all very talented, very specialized too,
And
understands well.
I also think that like when you do sales or rentals or whatever you focus on, it's on you, it's on the agent.
Right.
It's how good the agent is involved. What do you do to get new leads? What's your knowledge? Like, where do you go? How active you are? How responsible you are? And it depends on you. It doesn't like that. Wherever you are, it doesn't really like matter.
Right.
It's based on everything that you do. For example, I'm in technology as well, and that helps me a little bit because I have a software development certificate that I apply everywhere I go. I know how to do like advertising, online websites, and I get some channels that are international, and it's easy for people to contact me as well. So, I mean, it's a little bit of everything. If you have been doing real estate for 56 years, I understand that, but do you know the technology
Right.
side of it? Do you know the business side of it? I also have a master in administration and business development from the University of Miami. So, like the fact that you are like for so many years in this business, to me doesn't really mean anything.
Well, yeah, and again, it all depends on and what is the unique proposition that you can offer to a client. That's what I always say. Is like, what am I going to do better than anybody else? So for you, it is that technology aspect, and it is your ability to have a pipeline of either investors or different connections in South America and around the world. But I've seen what you've done, from the technology side and creating those websites, for a building to have that they can then provide to either prospective tenants or investors or other people, where it's really clean, it's smooth, it's efficient, it looks nice aesthetically. Like that's a different level of sell and marketing that you can provide, comparative to other agents and brokers.
I agree with you, Jack, because the websites where everybody lists their units or like
Right.
the standards is basically the same, but this market is competitive and you have to go and look in deep and think outside of the box and create different ways to connect to people. I feel like part of like what makes our team really good is that we connect with the whole world in an easier way. It's just not like, of course, we have the standards, the social media, and LinkedIn and everything, but we also have other ways to connect to universities, to students, to people that are looking to come to the United States. We connect with embassies, which is something that I don't think a lot of agents do. And when you're selling a property for a client that is in a rush and besides providing the right fair market value number for them to sell quickly, it's also being creative and putting in practice everything that you have learned during like your professional career. And
Yeah.
in this case, we have engineering, we have business, we have a lot of different departments that help.
Yeah, that's great too. And again, when you're working for a more boutique firm like that, you have a lot more control and opportunity out of the product you release in the sense of yourself and also what you create for the client, and that's a huge resource and asset to hold, especially when you're dealing in the luxury market and they want a certain type of customized luxury experience. Uh, as far as the outlook for next year into 2024, what would be ideal for you? Because from what I understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, inventory is way down, and it's hard to provide the best solutions for your clients when inventory is at such a low point. How do you see that getting better in 2024?
Inventory is low, like you said, but we everybody knows that rates are going down. It's a good opportunity. I feel like it's gonna be a great year for real estate. I think a lot more people are gonna be selling their units, and those individuals that are waiting for the rates to go lower, it's going to be a great opportunity for them to buy and to look. And I get the feeling that a lot of different people are just have been waiting for a
Yeah,
couple
I
of
agree.
years.
I
Like,
agree.
okay, I just waiting the perfect moment to buy or to get into a unit or to make the purchase and get rid of like that feeling of being stressed or being afraid of making the wrong decision. I think it's going to be a good decision. A lot of more people are going to be buying. Rates are going to go down, And who knows? Maybe there's gonna be more choices for them.
Yeah.
The inventory is gonna grow. Like that's the way I see it.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think too, like as it currently stands, I believe like sellers who are the market right now are dropping their prices a little bit because there needs to be a sweet spot, in my opinion. And I'm only very basic in my real estate knowledge, but there needs to be a sweet spot where obviously homes are affordable enough and rates are at a reasonable rate because I don't think it'll ever necessarily happen in New York City, but a lot of the stuff can get upside down if it's too skewed outside. But I think we're in a good spot. I think really what needs to open up is just the amount of inventory that's available, and I think too, it'll really help if rates will go down and home sales prices can stay at a reasonable level.
And that brings me back to my original point on where to invest your money and how to grow your wealth. It's in real estate.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It's safe to have your money there, and not only is safe to have your money there, it makes you more money. So why would
Especially when you're talking multifamily and like those type of investments, I find
Correct.
those, yeah, and a lot of people who are younger and making their first investment, there's specific loans you can get out for those type of investments that are really powerful. But if you have supplemental income and wealth where you can invest, without question, multifamily homes are the best, investment there are. Because I'm not sure if you're aware of this either, but it's like the rent, the amount to rent has gone up like exponentially over the last like 20 years too, and I don't see that changing.
No.
The more again how if people are kept out of the ownership market, renting is always going to be a very lucrative thing for investors.
Exactly. And even if it doesn't go up or if it doesn't continue to go up, like at the end of your life, like when you can't work anymore, when you can't do what you're doing right now, when you can run, when you don't want to think anymore, like that is a good
Just safety net.
just like when you just want to retire in Miami Beach.
Right, exactly.
That's a great asset to have anywhere. Like, and I feel New York City is just a really good choice
Yeah,
for an investor.
absolutely. And then you've also been working with like property managers and building owners and stuff like that too to manage their buildings as well, correct?
Yes, Dallien Realty has a site which is called GRJ, and they do property management and they do construction, renovation, all of that.
Oh, nice.
I'm not so involved into that area, but I do the sales for them.
Yeah, exactly. It's good to have though, because again, when you can provide that full service package, it's something I sell often at the advanced group. I did it today, as a matter of fact, where you can come in with a single team, single streamline of services to complete these projects. It works out very well.
Yes, definitely, and that's one of our like assets. We when we present our team deck to any building owner, we always make sure we include the property management side of it.
Yeah,
So
very
that's great.
very smart too. So yeah, hopefully someday we can get an opportunity where Dallien sells the building, is the property manager in the building, and then the advanced group handles all the move.
Definitely.
Well, Anna, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on. This is great. We had a great 2023, and I'm looking forward to a better 2024.
It's gonna be amazing. I feel it's gonna be a great year.
Very good. I agree. Thank you, everybody, for listening over the course of this year, and looking forward to continued listenership in 2024.
Thank you, Jack. This is wonderful. Thank you for having me here.
My pleasure. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.